We now turn to the Guinness Book of World Records, of course, the organization that keeps more than just world records for the world's largest baked pizza and the world's largest feet. Wonder how big they are. 2022 was full of obscure records, including the world's longest journey by pumpkin boat, furthest tightrope walk in high heels, and most drink cans placed on one's head using air suction. All right, but one of the first world records of 2023 might be less obscure or even more, and a potential cause for outrage. A group in St. Petersburg, Florida, hopes to host the world's largest drag queen story time for kids.
All right, joining us to discuss West Coast lead for Gang Against Groomers, Mario presents. Thank you, Mario. Appreciate you joining us. Give us your take on this.
Well, thank you for having me. And we at Gays Against Groomers stand completely against any drag performances for children. Drag is an adult art form. It remains to actually be seen that it can be helpful for children. And when we talk about Drag Queen Story Hour, we have to talk about it as an organization, as a business, because most people just hear Drag Queen Story Hour, oh, these people just want to dress up and read to kids. That's not, in fact, what's going to happen. What it is a 501(c) designed to sell books, several books from several authors, so that they can get their notoriety. And they're using a 501(c) to use tax money to have these events in community libraries, sometimes schools, and in this case, they're using the idea that, hey, we're going to break a world record, but people forget that this is a whole design to sell propaganda.
Why do you think that drag queen story hours for kids and these performances have become, I'm going to call them, such a big trend, especially in 2022?
Well, you have this culture of saying that drag queens are benign, there's nothing wrong with them. And when you look at the surface, they say, oh, it's all about theater. But when you look at the theater that they're putting on, that theater is usually for adults in an adult setting. We're not talking about reading a library dressed up as the character from the book. If we were talking about something as benign as dressing up like Snow White, reading a story about the seven dwarfs, and then next week you're reading a story about Cinderella, and you play the character Cinderella, most people wouldn't have an issue. But when we start talking about a drag queen or a performer who is coming in to read books to children using the same, I guess, persona that they've used at a club, it's inappropriate. We don't bring an adult performer from an adult venue into a children's venue, keep the same name, maybe tell her, don't grab yourself, don't touch yourself, but you can read to kids. It's inappropriate no matter how you slice it. This is not okay. So this is why we're taking a very hard stance, saying that Drag Queen Story Hour, they're using the name to bait and switch people to sell these books.
Yeah, and Mario, why is it obvious to you and to us that drag shows with children shouldn't even be a sentence? If you want to have a drag show, that's cool. But whenever you start involving children, why is it, and what percentage of the community, if you have any insight into this, feels like you do, that do whatever you want to do, just don't involve kids?
Right. Most of the community actually agrees with it. I've had lots of drag queens come up to us quietly, privately saying, this is inappropriate. We shouldn't be blurring these lines, especially when we just saw a drag queen performing a Disney type of a routine, and they were wearing a chest plate that was bare open, and they're calling it family friendly. Children should not be performing for adults in sexual manners, dress up like this. I actually was a child performer. I was a vocalist with my brothers in a band. I performed on the streets of Universal City Walk for adults, but there was no inappropriateness. That was clean family entertainment. They're trying to say that drag is clean family entertainment, when in fact it is not clean family entertainment. It is actually sexualization. Yeah. I personally draw the same line when it comes to child beauty pageants. It's inappropriate. It definitely blurs a line where we talk about sexualization of children, and we really should, as a society, be speaking out against this indoctrination and sexualization of our youth before they're ready to understand these concepts.
Yeah, it's really that hyper sexualization, but for kids. Mario, do you still sing?
I actually do. I do karaoke from time to time.
Maybe just as we say goodbye, how about just a little bit of your favorite Christmas song?
Oh my goodness. Well, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Ha ha ha! Very good.
That was
Very
great.
nice, Mario. Way to take
no
us
pressure.
out.
Thanks for playing along. Appreciate it, Mario.
Appreciate it.
All right, folks. In Arizona.